What is up, you crazy guys at the Kitty Cat Lounge? Hey, listen, and it's yeah, there used to be an adult gentleman's club in New York City called the Kitty Cat Lounge, and it was right downtown by Rector Street. So, funny story. I don't know why even I just literally just I'm winging it off the top of my head. So so I'm there. And it's I worked on Wall Street for years, so I'm with a bunch of other brokers, and one of the guys that we worked with, if you guys are into college football, if you remember a Rutgers running back by the name of Gary Fauntleroy, so Gary ended up making it as far as the training camp for the Patriots. And long story short, I end up training him on our system, and guys that I've known for years who are really big into sports are like, "Yo, are you really Gary Fauntleroy?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm just like, "Gary, who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I played college football for years. I was trying to get drafted." And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm not into sports. I grew up skateboarding, snowboarding, and that was my thing." So we had fast forward months in, and a bunch of us, dude, it's Friday. We're just kind of like, dude, we just need to chill, dude. We just had a crazy week, just trading every day. And it gets stressful because you have clients who freak out and lose it. And, it's usually the guy that has a $500,000 account and is upset that something happened with his $5,000 trade. It's never the guy that has 30 million in his account and just lost money on a $15 million trade. Like, it's never that guy. He's just like, whatever. But it's always like the other guys that just, I traded, I came in and out of a $5,000 trade, $600 less. It's like, it is what it is. You go to Las Vegas, you're going to lose that. Anyway, so we had a real crazy week, and we go to the Kitty Cat Lounge, and it's like me, Gary, and a few other guys. I think it was 2 to my right and like 4 to my left. So we're hanging out there, and there's a catwalk. We're sitting at the bar. There's the bartender, and then there's a catwalk. So that I don't know. One of the guys ended up getting into like a little rift with one of the girls. I don't know what it was about. But bro, I'm from Brooklyn. You can't mess with me and not think that that you're gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I am. Like, that's how extreme I get. I'm not anymore. Years ago, 25 years ago, that's how I was. So we're there at the bar, and I see this kind of thing happening. I'm like, this chick needs to learn a lesson. So she goes from my left, and she walks over to the right side of the stage, and I ask, I think it was Gary. I'm like, "Gary, how much change do you have?" And he's like, "Whatever, like coins, like nickels and dimes." So I'm like, "Let me get that." And then one of my other buddies, who whenever we would go out, would always just have a British accent, even though he was from Long Island. So I'm just like, "Dude, how much change do you have?" "Oh, I have a quarter. You want a quarter?" I'm just like, "Bro, you and your stupid accent, give me the quarters." So he ended up giving me like 50 or 75 cents in quarters. And so I have the change, and the girl that kind of had the issue with one of my buddies is now at my far right, but kind of like 8 feet over. So I grab the change and I throw it at her on the stage and look left, as all of my buddies see me doing that, and look right, and they all look at her, and I'm not. That girl took the change and just beamed it to the guys that were on my left. And they're like, "What are you doing?" Like, screaming, dude. And they're like, "It wasn't me, it was him." And I was just like, "What? What? What are you talking about? What?" So, I don't know. All right. So that's just, a quick little story. So, anyway, so in today's episode, Gary Fauntleroy. If you played college football video games, I don't know, I don't know if it was Nintendo or Sega, but one of those, entertainment consoles had college football, and you can actually play Gary Fauntleroy as your running back. But this is going back to, I don't know, maybe 99, maybe 98. Wow, so 21 years ago. Anyway, so listen, so today's episode is in regard to buying an amp that unfortunately doesn't have the punch and the gusto that you expected. And for me, that's my Marshall JCM 800, and that's a 1987 JCM 800. And the thing just doesn't pack a wallop, and that's fine. You just have to help it along. So the other one is my Mesa Stiletto. So I ended up getting that and getting it at a rocking deal because my buddy went ahead and he's just like, bro, there is a stiletto at your local shop. You need to go get it. So literally like within an hour, I already had it. So I brought it home and I was like, okay, I need to clearly mess around with it. But it's literally, the Mesa Stiletto is the equivalent of the Marshall JCM 800. In fact, Mesa created the stiletto for guitarists that like the Marshall JCM sound, but dislike Marshall. They like Mesa, but they can't use a rectifier. They can, but it's a rectifier. So they created the stiletto. So the stiletto, because it's based off of this guy right here, sounds a lot like this guy. So this is what it sounds like when you take a stiletto and realize that it doesn't have that punch that you expected, and that you're just going to run into that, especially when you have all this craziness going on. So that being said, I'm actually going to pair it up with two pedals. One is the Wampler Dracarys, so you can just hear the difference between what the stiletto sounds like direct, along with the Wampler Dracarys. I'm also going to be using my Highwind Direwolf also. So you're gonna get to try. You actually get to listen to two different pedals, and you get to hear what it sounds like when you have an amp that's like, I don't really have a lot of gain, and you're gonna have to deal with it. No, son. Come on, kid. I didn't spend a few $100 on that thing just to be like, man, I'm never gonna use it. We're gonna use you right now. All right, guys. So I'm using my other Jackson. This guy has Seymour Duncan Dime Bucker on the bridge, and it's purple-ish. So it's not my black one. I have a white one. I have a gray granite, and I have another one. I think I have 5 Jacksons. Anyway, so this is what the Mesa Stiletto sounds like. Yo, I'm talking about gain at 13. Go, do it. You can do it. Nothing, dude. Just has no oomph to it. This is what it sounds like when you go ahead and use a pedal like the Direwolf by Highwind Amplification. I just drew a blank for a second there. Sorry, Jordan. I know you watch my channel. Right? So that's off. This is with the Direwolf on.
I get this guy home and I'm like, ooh, all right, let's go. What? But throw your absolute favorite overdrive, and and I have a bunch of favorite ones, and this is definitely one of the pedals that I absolutely love. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the Dracarys so you can hear what that sounds like with the stiletto. So I've gone ahead and hooked up the Wampler Dracarys. This, again, is the Meso with the stiletto and nothing other than a noise gate attached. Dracarys on. So guys, if you find yourself in a situation where you go ahead and you quickly yank up an amp or a head, whatever the case is, and you realize that it doesn't really have the tone that you were looking for, just know the world has not ended. You too can go ahead and create ridiculous tone with the help of pedals. So, and I know, listen, a bunch of you guys run into the same thing also. You're like, Lewis, I just got myself a JCM 800. The thing sounds terrible. I'm like, I know! So, this is what you should use. So, again, if you're like me and you just find yourself just running into a situation where you get a good deal on an amp and it doesn't sound as great as you want it to, again, it's not the end of the world. You can go ahead and build on that gain stage that your current amp lacks. And build on top of that and just literally create incredible chugging tones that you're going to absolutely love. So guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. If you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And I hope you guys liked the story from the Kitty Cat Lounge and made you laugh. And thank you so much again. And as usual, I will talk to you guys soon.